What is up, everybody? Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Your Ex Drinking Buddy with me, your host, Brennan Tassif. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. Check us out on YouTube. Full video available there. Check out the merch store. Look at all this stuff. We got all this stuff on the merch store. It's all available on the website, BrennanTComedy.com. You can also get my tour dates there. Every show that I have coming up, I'm going to be in New York, traveling the country, doing a bunch of gigs. So check it out. Get tickets at BrennanTComedy.com. Check out the merch store. And lastly, if you really want to support, go to www.patreon.com/BrennanTComedy. And that is where you can find Tales from the Restaurant, where I divulge everything about the celebrities I wait on. And also a little bit of behind the scenes. You'll also get the episodes early, a bunch of bonus episodes. Check it all out. Thank you so much. Enjoy the episode.
Grab me a beer and grab him a coke. We bout to sit for an hour, bullshit and tell jokes. And please don't mix it up, cause he done sobered up. Brennan T Comedy on your social media feeds. And Brennan Tassif is your ex drinking buddy. Brennan Tassif is your ex drinking buddy. Brennan Tassif is your ex drinking buddy. Brennan Tassif is your ex drinking buddy.
What is up, everybody? Welcome into another edition of Your Ex Drinking Buddy. I'm your host, Brennan Tassif. If you're new to the show, quick rundown of the program. It used to be everyone's favorite drinking buddy. It was my favorite thing to do. Hang out with friends, get drunk, do drugs, get in all sorts of trouble, and then reminisce about those crazy stories. I am sober now, but it's still one of my favorite things to do. Hang out with somebody and reminisce about the crazy old days. Most weeks I'll be joined by guys. This week is no exception. Back for his second round, JC Mendoza.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. I'm happy
What's
to be
up,
That's
man?
a great intro, bro.
Thank you.
I feel fucking ready to go now, man.
Yeah, that's how we got to do it. Before we get too far into anything, plug everything up front. You have a podcast with your
Yes.
beautiful fiance.
Of course.
Let everybody know where they can find you
Thank
on
you.
Instagram.
Find me on Instagram at Peach Fuzz Poppy, all social media, Peach Fuzz Poppy. And then check out me and my fiance, Samantha Santos. We're both stand-up comics. We have a podcast called Soft Launch, and that comes out every single Wednesday, everywhere podcasts are streamed.
One of the funniest podcasts.
Thank you, bro. We tried.
The clips you put out are,
Dog.
especially because obviously having a fiance as well, and you know, you guys are a little younger than us, but not by much, and it's one of those crazy things.
I don't even think so, bro.
I'm 37.
Samantha's 38. I'm 33.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, we're all
that's
right in the
kinda-
same boat. Yeah,
So, and this is the thing. So you guys have. I'm so excited to talk about this. What the? Okay,
It's back. It's good. It's because shit is getting spooky. Vecna's in the building.
This
the lights
happens
are going on
all
and off.
the time.
I
I spend all this money on equipment and then it doesn't work. But
feel you.
the thing I love about it, Tracy's obsessed with reality TV.
Oh yeah.
Mainly, she likes the competition shows.
Oh, so
Traders,
you guys are
The
watching Traders?
Challenge. Are we watching Traders? Well, I don't know if you saw my post. We through a friend, we basically got to go. Not basically, we got to go to the. She's obsessed. The Challenge is her number one, her S tier.
Johnny Bananas and all of
Yeah,
them.
but we got to go to the Challenge Media podcast and
Oh,
got to do a meet
shit.
and greet.
Who'd you meet?
Cara Maria, we met Sydney, Wes was there,
Wes
Mark
is-
Long.
yeah, Wes is good.
But it was one of those things where it's very funny because, you know, obviously she's a school teacher, she has a very stable life, and I'm the comic who's in recovery, who's been arrested a bunch. So on paper, it's like, that guy's not good for you.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's what a lot of people think in her life. Like, they'll never say it, but I'm
yeah,
sure
yeah,
they
yeah.
think it.
Of course, behind your back, where they're supposed to think
Exactly.
it. As long as I don't get it.
What people
judge
say
me all
behind
you
my back is none of my business. But
Literally.
the best part is to be like, yeah, you could have dated an accountant, but do you want to go see some of your heroes backstage?
Yeah.
Because that's what the comic provides.
Yeah. Oh, so that was through a plug that you had?
Yeah, of
Oh,
course,
yeah.
dude.
You got to get the perks where you get the perks,
Yeah.
man. I make enough money for the both of us. Take me to some cool shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so it was so fun because we're backstage and she's like freaking out. And I'm like, yeah, you don't get this dating a CPA, baby.
No, you don't. This is the perks.
Showbiz.
of the gig. I will not give you stability. I will not give you
Insurance?
financial insurance. None of that. I'll give you a good time.
Good time.
Give you a good time. That's all it's about.
But you guys talk a lot about reality TV.
So much of our-
And you guys are into it.
so deep into it. It is like it's what we do when we wind down. Like right now, what we're watching Traders, obviously. But
The
when we're
Ron
watching,
thing was bullshit.
Oh, it was bullshit. But Ron has been a nightmare the whole time. And I love Ron Funches. I thought he was going to be hilarious. He's been so emotional. I don't think you can be a comic, go on a show like that, and not be the funniest person in the castle.
Yeah.
Especially the person who got under his skin was Dorinda Medley. That can't happen. You have to be able to get the best of Dorinda in a verbal spar.
I love how you.
I'm watching Ron. I'm like, you're wasting an opportunity. He's not boosted his. Now people want to see him talk seriously. You're a comic. There should have been a vehicle to get people to watch you on stage. But I digress. It's a great show. It's such a good show.
I love it.
We love
I
reality
love
TV. That's all we watch.
the Donna thing was one of the most obvious, but also like it's so obvious that they're not going to do that.
Did you see it? Did you see it coming?
So that was the thing, was her and I were debating about this.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was like, this could go either way. The producers would be like, well, she is such a good trader that we're not going to pick her as a trader.
Yeah.
Or she'd be such a good trader, we're going to go with that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the debate we had going back and forth.
100%.
We were kind of up in the air. Did you guys see it coming?
Samantha thought she was a trader, and I was like, it is too obvious. But at the round table, when literally every single and I was like, oh, she must have been playing like shit. Because everybody at the table knew she was a trader.
Yeah.
Everybody. And I'm at home, I'm like, no, I don't think so. She must have been playing like garbage, because it must have been so. They're yelling at Mike and they're all voting for Donna. It doesn't matter. So I thought it was too obvious. So
that's what I thought. I was like, that
they would have had me. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
The crazy thing is, and this is what I've learned just being with Tracy for so long, because she's like listens to the podcast and is in. And we know this as comedians because we do this with our material.
Yeah,
you can edit it. You can kind of make it look.
Big time.
We might bump up. I might bump up the laughs a couple
Exactly.
times.
I'm
We're gonna audio gain that a couple of decibels.
If you watch my clips, the audio's doubled because I have the club audio and I have my phone audio, just in case you don't believe that I'm doing
record from my phone and then the camera wherever
there's
it's in the room.
nothing worse than crushing in the room, watching the video and not hearing the audio.
Oh, I can't stand
it. And
it.
then because you think you look so cool crushing, but if you can't hear the laughs, you look like an asshole. Yeah. Because you're giving it extra. Like, I'm throwing in act outs that are not a part of my joke because it's going so well in the room.
Oh my god!
And if you can't hear that through the audio, it's
over.
over.
I had a show, the Comedy Lounge in Denver. Shout out to them. Saturday night, I'm featuring for my very good friend Matt Fulstron, and dude, I crushed this show.
Set.
Recording from my phone in the back of the room before I knew how to adjust the lighting to actually, so it looks grainy as shit. And all you can hear is what's coming out of the microphone because it's in the back of the room.
100%.
And I watched it back and I was like, no. I was crushing. I promise
I was crushing.
I was crushing.
Yo, it's you gaslighting yourself. So I get it. And
I know I was doing well.
And that's what the producers of the show are doing. They're giving us a story that might not be the full story.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening. From what I watched, I was like, I didn't think Donna was that obvious.
Yeah.
But everybody
Well, that's what
knew.
I'm saying.
Everybody
because I was like, everyone. And then the interesting thing was, we'll get off, spoiler alert, we'll get off on this in a second. But that last episode where Ron was like saying goodbye to everybody, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, he's not the trader. Like, we got to go somewhere else. He's not. And then they almost had a trader.
Almost
Because of it. And I was like, come on.
At the last minute, they almost clutched up. But I think Traders is at its best when the faithfuls are dumb fucks. I think the more that they don't,
the same thing.
When they don't know what's going on, the show is better. Because last season was
much.
not fun. The Traders were a mess. It was. Did you watch last season?
I didn't watch last season.
It was. Let me save you the trouble. It was a fucking nightmare. All they knew exactly who the Traders were very quickly, and it wasn't fun. This is way better.
Yeah, and the
I want to
Secret
see
Trader
people be
was a
shocked. Great twist for me because I always think it's so easy watching. I'm like, oh, I would know exactly what to, but I don't fucking know shit.
Yeah.
And that's good. It was
So
good.
when they did The Secret, it was very much like, wait, is this?
I think next year, whoever they pick is probably going to be better. So they're going to be there for longer because that's great.
Yeah.
Secret Trader is fantastic.
That was a great idea. So you guys talk a lot about this kind of stuff. And then also, obviously, the relationship, everything like that. Mm-hmm. I remember when you first came up with the idea, you kept saying soft launch.
Yeah.
And I remember we were at the stand. This was, a couple years ago. And I remember thinking, like, are you talking about, like, you and Sam's relationship? Because I remember when you guys started dating.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you talking about the relation? And then you came out with the podcast, and I was like, oh, that's so fucking smart.
Yeah. Because honestly, man, first of all, let me just say, time passing is insane. We've been friends for years at this point.
5.
Which is actually insane. But
we met like my first week in New York.
Yeah.
I don't know. Was it at a mic or at the stand or something?
Pandemic, if not
right
the pandemic,
after
right
the
after.
pandemic. Yeah.
It's been years. It's insane how time
And then we started doing the Hannah Burn thing.
Yeah, that's right. That's all. It all fucking comes together. The shit happens so quick. But yeah, we love doing the pod. We talk about, reality shows. We talk about literally everything. It's frankly, we talk about so much, it's kind of hurting us. We should really hone in on one thing and really make that our thing. We just like to talk.
But yeah, they say that about podcasts. And whenever people, because I've had a bunch over the years, and whenever people are like, oh, we were thinking about just getting a couple buddies together to talk. Now you have a dynamic.
Yeah. 100%.
You're both comics and you're both in a relationship. Yeah. But when it's like 3 dudes who have been doing comedy for like 6 months, and they're like, we're just going to talk. And I go, like every famous actor and comedian who does a podcast does that, right?
Yeah. Like, you're not helping yourself.
You should maybe hone in.
You should pick one thing and really get into that.
It's like, no, I want to listen to Joe Schmo. Fuck Andy, Sean Hayes, and Will Arnett. And
100%.
Yeah, it's like...
Well, I think it's just the honestly, we would have to do that if like we have our studio just like you guys.
Yeah.
We have our studio in our apartment, and we do talk every day, so it makes sense for us because we're gonna do that anyway.
It's such a again the clips every time. I don't know if you noticed. I repost like every single one.
I really appreciate it because we.
It's so
I try
funny.
so hard on those clips because that's my job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I edit the pod and I do the clips. Listening to the episode back and finding the parts and like it's so concisely cut, it takes so much work.
It does, and that's
so I appreciate you saying.
Of course, I pivoted to AI cutting the clips.
I do AI too,
but then you have to.
I don't
still
let
have to go in.
I do AI to like format it. I don't like letting the computers pick the best part. I'm like, let me do this. Even if the clip bombs, I'd rather bomb being something that I thought was funny, other than
I use it as plausible deniability because I'm like, if this bombs. Fucking
it wasn't
AI
even my
is,
choice. Maybe I should just do that. It would make my fucking day a lot easier.
And I also because I post 5 clips a week per episode, so
really
it's like I'm not going through this thing and cherry picking out
too much time until we can pay for like a producer to sit over there and make notes. That's what it's gonna be.
The other thing too is the one because I love movies. The one thing I hate about a movie is when all the best parts are in the trailer.
Yeah, I feel that
because it's like this is why I wanted to see the movie, and I'll never forget Men in Black 2. Was the one where I was old enough to understand it. Yeah. They put all the jokes in the trailer. So then when I saw the movie, I was like, but I already knew all of this.
Yeah, they didn't keep anything in the clip.
So I like to if it's a good story we're talking about, because you also remember. So like when I go through, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to get a segment of that. And then all the comments are like, you cut the story off, short story. And I'm like, yeah, but that's why you're supposed to go listen.
Go listen to the full thing.
That's the whole point.
It's a fucking nightmare. This podcast game is we're just trying our best, and whatever we do, people are gonna want the other thing.
And it's so funny too because I know we talked about this because you got into stand up even before you got into stand up on Snapchat. We talked about this on your first episode, going to the improv class. Julio Diaz, I believe, was
that's
who's
right.
Friend of the show. We got him on here, but
shout out to Julio.
Yeah, you've come so far. And so the last time you were on, we were kind of talking about that. We had started doing the Hannah Burner stuff, but that was 2023.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to talk about now that you have the podcast, obviously you're engaged you're going to be married soon. You got all this stuff going on. What has it been like for you coming from where we were then to where you are now?
Right.
Because you've been getting gigs, you're on all sorts of stuff. You're past at clubs now. You're like doing the thing.
I'm trying my best. I will say the biggest difference, like I feel like I've learned a lifetime of comedy, like in and out in those 3 years. I'm doing much less shows now. That is just a fact. I'm doing, if I could write down, actually, if I could, I do. I keep track of every show that I do. I have a spreadsheet. I keep track of every year I do stand up, what show, where it was at, what time it was at, who booked me, and how much I got paid if I got paid.
That's
I have a
fucking
list.
Smart.
And I'm doing so many, like close to half the shows I was doing at that time. But the pay has not dropped off.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm getting paid right around that same area. So for me, it's just been about being a little bit more choosy with
selective.
You got to be selective because 2003, I'm taking gigs anywhere. I'm going to the Tiny Cupboard for 2 shows, and then I'm running up to a bar show on the Upper West Side because it's a show. And it's
which, for those of you listening who are uninitiated, that is on opposite ends.
One is in Bushwick
City.
and one is in Manhattan, and it's like 3 hours of commute.
It's like 3 trains, an hour each.
And spoiler alert, every show sucked. All of them were garbage. Every single one, no matter where, it was a bad show, and I was getting paid like $3. Like 4 months later. So for me, the big thing I've learned.
Oh, that's my favorite too.
Yo,
we're gonna pay you for the show. Okay, cool. Month passes.
3 months later, $450. I'm like, that barely covers the MTA that I spent to get there. But it's just when you start, you think you have to do everything and say yes to everything. It's the biggest myth in comedy. If any comedy people are listening to the pod and they want to get into comedy, you don't have to take every fucking show. Actually, a little bit you do.
Yeah.
You have to, so you understand. You have to take it, and then you have to understand what's worth your time and what's not.
Yeah.
So that's been the biggest lesson, is making my time worth it, asking the right questions when I get booked, like, is this paid? How much time? Just so when you respond to people differently, I've learned that they treat you differently.
100. If you act like a professional, you'll get treated.
You'll get treated. So for me, I host less, I take less shows, and like when people do hit me up, often it's with a good offer.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, come do this show for your rate, and like people are asking me what my rate is. You gotta fucking have a rate to set. It's been fun.
You got a rider. I need green M&Ms, not the red bullshit.
Rider,
give me the green.
Rider, we're not there yet, but that's what the plan is. But I think the biggest thing I've learned is you have to present as a professional, because it changes the way that you approach your own art. Like I used to take bullshit shows and I used to do bullshit. Now I do less, so I'm more excited to get on stage when I'm on stage, and I'm a lot more pointed. Like, all right, I'm going on stage to do this. This is what I want to work on today. This is my goal. And usually now it's a good show. I'm not leaving for a bad show for the most part.
Yeah.
But it's a balance. It's a balance.
That's the other thing too. Is like, I don't know if you could see over my computer. I've got a show tonight that I'm producing, but I'm also doing 25 minutes on.
Oh, it's the best,
but it's one of those things where it's like, no. This isn't going to be like I'll just go up there and say something. I've got every little notebook out. I'm like making a set list because it's like, well, even if it's a light show because of the snowstorm and because people don't want to get out of their apartment, even if there's 15 people there, it's like they're all paying to see the show. Like, I'm not going to fuck this up.
They're paying, and it's productive for you. This is your stage. This is stage time that you've literally dragged from the mud. You've created it out of nothing. There would be no stage time if you didn't make it happen. So with that time, take your notes. Fucking try a joke. If it's
100%.
And I have a couple more of those that I do now. Doing longer sets. It's just trying to be as productive as possible with the time that I have.
I want to ask you about the longer sets thing. So coming up, doing the Snapchat thing, and if you didn't listen, it's episode, I believe 138 was the first episode you were on. But you talked about doing the Snapchat thing, getting into improv, and then pivoting into stand-up. You are accustomed to doing a lot more short form things. Even when you start in stand-up, especially in New York, you're getting 5 minutes, 8 minutes max, like when you first start.
When you're first starting, for sure.
So now that you're doing longer sets, do you, because you're obviously a hilarious comic,
Thank you.
Do you find it more gratifying to do longer sets, or is it more of like a shit, I would much rather be in that 12-minute space where I can just bang, 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 and I'm out?
For me, I love doing longer sets. I know I started with shorter form like videos and stuff, but like now my brain is wired. I'm a yapper. I talk a lot. I over-explain in my premise. I'll fucking
so many
drag
times
a
people are like, you don't have to give that many details. I go, no, but it's important for the setup.
That's another, but being in New York is very funny because you want to get comfortable doing more time, which I am. I love to do longer sets. But like when you're in New York, you have 10, 15 max now. You know what I mean? So like it kind of has to be good for all 15 minutes. Like when you're at a club, or if it's a club you care about, and if it's a spot that you want to go well, or you're on a produced show with people that you want to do well, you have to do well for all 15. And in that, usually I can't explain things as much as I want to. But that's why I prefer a longer set. I think my thoughts come out in long form. I speak in stories.
Yeah, because I
speak long and I try to whittle down. That's my process.
That's what I was going to say. Because a lot of times, because I still go to open mics because, like, again, to your point, it's like, I don't have the following, especially to where if I get booked on a good show at a good club, I can fuck around.
Can't fuck around.
Because then I'm going to find out real quick that they're like, this isn't the place for that.
100%.
So I still go to mics when I'm like, this thing, because I'm a storyteller. So like when people ask, it took me a long time to find my voice, but now it's very succinct. When they go, oh, what's your style? I always go dark storytelling, and I try to make that funny. And I still like to go to mics because something will happen, and I'll be like, there's something funny here, but I don't know what it is. So then I'll just tell the whole story at a mic, and then over time, it gets whittled down.
You go slow. You get closer and closer to it being a joke. It's a fun process. It's just fucking New York is tough because there's not so many places to figure that out. Because you get on stage and you have to do well. You have to do well, and
especially because you play some of the major clubs in the city, and it's like.
It's a balance. That's why producing your own show, that's where I do it. So I have a show every month that I'm like, all right, I'm doing 25, and if I want to work something, I'm working it here.
Yeah, because this
is my crowd. I've created this stage time. I don't care what happens. If I bomb, that's my choice.
I already paid for the room.
I've paid for I'm doing that.
Yeah.
You know? And then
which is my favorite thing about producing, because I don't like producing because of all the, obviously, and you know this, and for the listeners, there's a lot of stuff that comes with it. Not only you pay for the room, then you have to try to sell tickets, then you have to book comics, you have to pay those comics. It's a balance. You can get comics who are very green and be like, hey, bring a bunch of people, so then you'll make more money on the ticket sales.
And then
the show sucks.
And they'll suck it. It makes me upset in the back of the room. You know what I mean?
And then there's the people who own the venue who are like, I know he paid for it, but this sucks.
I know.
So it's like this balancing act. But the best part about doing it is if I try something and it bombs, I feel as a competitor and a comic, I'm like, shit.
I hate that.
But in my head, I'm also like, I'm not worried about a booker in the back of the room.
I was about to say, the booker.
Este's not back there taking notes.
The booker's on stage with me. I think I'm going to get booked next month. I think nothing's at stake here. I think I'm going to be right back. You know what I mean?
I think they're going to invite me back, actually. That's what I think.
I mean, honestly, man, what I'm learning is no, even if you crush every set, it doesn't fucking matter, man. You could crush. Esty could be in a room. She could watch you crush it, and then she might not like you for another reason. Yeah. And I'm saying that like a general story, but that's happened to me. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
You go, you have a good set, and sometimes people think it's good, sometimes people don't, and it doesn't fucking matter.
I have had people, because you know this, and I the listeners know. I don't never say the name of the restaurant, but I work at a very swanky steakhouse in the city.
Really nice. Go check them out there. If you know, you know. I've been.
If you know, you know. Yeah. But it is right in between the stand and the cellar, so I make a lot of connections working there. But to your point, it's so funny how like things change on a dime. Like how people are like, hell yeah, dude, I'd love to do your podcast. You hooked us up. This was a great time. Like you seem like a great dude. I'd definitely come on. And then I'll DM them like a week later, like, hey, great seeing you the other night.
Yeah.
Let me know. And then it's just crickets, or it's I'm too busy. And it's like, wait, I thought we hit it off. So you're exactly right. The same thing can happen with a booker. You could crush in the room. They'd be like, you're awesome. This is great. And then you reach out and they're like, yeah, the roster's just kind of full right now.
It's a million things are going through all these people's heads, and none of them are you. Like, it doesn't matter what you think, what you feel. They have their own problems. They got their own things they're trying to solve. It's everything that I've learned is such a reminder that it's not about me. So in that way, it's depressing, but it's also liberating. It's like, go do what you want, try your best, and you ultimately, I think the tools are in our hands. We have to do it on our own.
Yeah,
we got to do podcasts and produce our shows and cut the clips, put it out, see what sticks.
Well, and it's interesting about the nobody cares kind of aspect of it, because I have. You know, when I do a tight five and I want it to be good, I have the same tight five.
Of course.
So I was talking to a friend of mine and I was like, yeah, like, and he blew up. His following went from like 20,000 to like 380,000.
Fuck yeah, man.
And I was like, what should I do? And he was like, your best material, like just keep posting it. I know. And I was like, yeah, but I don't want to cut like the same. I don't want to use the same exact clip. He goes, you've done that bit in other rooms and it's gone well, right? And I go, yeah. And he goes, then use that. And I go, yeah, but people have seen it. And he goes, Nobody has seen it.
Nobody's seen anything. So, pardon me. I think it was Chris Barnes, very funny comic and a great content creator. He was like, if you post something and it bombs, literally nobody saw it. Yeah. So don't be embarrassed. Nobody's watching.
Nobody knows.
So it doesn't matter. And like I see it, and I don't mind when I see other comics do it. Like post the same joke over and who gives a shit? Yeah. If it works, it works. You gotta trick the system, man. You gotta do what you gotta do.
The hardest thing I've discovered is even attaining, and we were talking about this before the mics went on, but even getting any sort of a following, the hardest thing is getting people to come out.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Because I've told this story a million times. When I had List on my show, he had under 100,000 followers. It is still, and I've had people on with millions of followers. It is still by far the most watched thing I've ever done on YouTube.
Because he has real fans, people that really care.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And there's a difference between having followers and having fans. There's a big difference.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that because Kyle Kinane, who I love, he's one of my favorite comics. He always said this, I don't need everybody. I just need enough to fill a room.
Yeah, 100%.
And I've always kind of prescribed to that, where it's like, yeah, my comedy might not be for everybody, because no one is. Because it's subjective.
100%.
So you could talk about something that's the most mundane, this is the silliest, broadest concept, and you'll still get people being like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Dog, you know what changed my life? And this is a really random thing, but I remember when Bruno Mars dropped 24 Karat Magic, the album. It's one of my favorite albums of all time. And he got negative reviews from that. People were like, oh, he's appropriating culture. He's making bullshit pop. I'm like, if y'all are mad at Bruno Mars, you will not like me. And once I saw people be upset with Bruno Mars and Beyonce, I'm like, oh, you don't like Beyonce? You're not going to like me.
Yeah.
And it's okay. If we can't all agree that Beyonce is great, it doesn't matter what I do.
Yeah.
Because you can't beat everybody. You can't make everybody happy. You have to just try to make yourself happy and bring as many people along as you can.
Yeah, 100%. The one thing that I find crazy about the internet is it gave everyone a voice.
Yeah.
Which in ways is good, but also it's like, yeah, but some of these people were just sitting in a basement. Like, I don't know if they need to have an opinion on comedy.
You know what? I've been looking at comments a lot recently, and me and Samantha posted a video last week.
You've been looking at comments?
Oh, big time.
You can't.
Big time.
You know.
That's all I do.
I'm saying this is a hypocrite because all I do is read and respond.
All I do. Every time. If I'm in a Hannah Burner video, I'm reading every single comment. Every single comment. And it doesn't matter if it's positive or negative, but I'm reading these comments. And Samantha and I did a sketch about another couple that divorced. That was a big content creator couple. They divorced.
Saw this, yeah.
We put the sketch out. It did great. Millions of views, right? Some people don't understand that we're kidding. We're doing a gag. We're doing a spoof.
My favorite.
And they're like, wow, I don't understand. I don't get it. And they'll just comment that. I'm like, these people are so stupid. And yet, I need them to like me. Yeah. It's absolutely mind-bending. These fucking idiots have my life in their hands.
Yeah.
And they're nobody, and their approval means everything to me. And if they would just give me money, I could be happy. But they're so dumb.
They're so
so
my God.
stupid.
There's the amount of people who don't understand sarcasm or nuance is insane.
Low IQ morons who I just desperately need to win over.
I want you. I need you. I have to have you.
And it makes me sad to think that. I'm like, sometimes I'm in the comments, I'm like, I'm so much better than everybody here. I'm so much smarter, and yet I can't do this without you. You are who I
have to. It's interesting too because I've been that person.
Yeah.
When I was still drinking, and I've told this story before, but I went to see Tom Segura 2014 at the Comedy Zone in Jacksonville, and I was still drinking at the time. I brought my ex-fiance with me, and I got hammered. And I was a huge fan. I am still, but at the time I was like a ravenous fan for Tom. I was listening to the podcast. I listened to all his albums, like to where I could like just recite them back to you, and I heckled. Because I was
so excited.
I was so excited, and I was like, I know this dude. He went to high school in Florida. We both played high school football. Like,
this is my guy.
This is my guy.
Yeah.
And I was heckling. And now, fast forward, I've been sober for 8 years. Like, I've got all this stuff going on in my life, and I'm like, I fucking cringe every time I think about that.
Yo, people are nuts. And something that's starting to happen to me and Samantha recently is like, we'll post something and people that follow us that we go back and forth with will say something negative in the comments and then DM us the next day like, yo, I was wasted. I'm like, if alcoholism is manifesting in the comments of my Instagram video, you need help. That's crazy.
I've had people reach out. Same.
Yeah.
But it's like on the YouTube thing, well, they'll be like, this is one thing that always sticks with me. There's 2 comments. One was, and the crowd goes mild. And I was like, oh, that hurts.
Yeah,
and then another one was, I see a guy standing, but no comedy for stand-up comedy. And I remember both of these specifically because the same thing I always say to everybody. I used to get really aggressive, and I think I told you this. I used to leave my full address and be like,
hysterical.
Come see me anytime you want. Dude, and I have a bit about it, but it's true. I've been arrested way too many times to get talked down to by like some 14-year-old in a basement.
Yeah.
Like, this is where I live. If you want to come to New York, come to New York.
That's so funny.
But I don't do that anymore because
Yeah.
it's dangerous.
Yeah.
My ex still lives at that address, though, so you can go see her.
go yell at her. She'll agree with you.
But I started pivoting and being just nice.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry you feel that way. I thought it was funny. Everyone in the room laughed. They thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And I have had people message back and be like, sorry, I was just going through some shit.
Yo,
I took
it's
it out
crazy.
on you.
I'm like, the fact that you can't stop yourself from being negative.
Nobody cares what you think. Nobody cares what I think.
Bro,
and I have a following.
Dog, my shit, I'm a hater. I hate almost everything I see on the internet. I hate it. If I see somebody get a bunch of likes, I'm like, I'm better than them. They don't deserve it. I'm not a nice person for real. But I would never say that. I'm not going to let you know that I don't like it. I'm just going to double tap, keep moving. I'm going to be positive. For you to not be able to check yourself and have to express how angry this makes you is a crazy thing.
I have had Tracy say to me, oh, that bit was really funny. And I'm like, what bit? And she'll like name a comic and I'll be like, oh yeah, I like that comic. But she'll start talking about the bit and I'm like, I don't. She goes, you liked it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, double tap, keep
Could be anything.
double tap. Keep
Honestly, I'm ruining their algorithm because I'm not staying engaged with their content. Double tap immediately. If I know the name Double Tap, I'm gone. I couldn't be paid. I couldn't be paid to watch what you're doing. I couldn't. I'm so sorry.
Double tap and I'm gone.
Because the worst thing is when I'm watching a bit. God forbid it's like the premise is similar to something that I.
Oh my God!
I don't want to hear it.
Because
then they think I'm stealing. No, I'm done. I'm gone.
That's why I love storytelling
Great.
because I just can talk about myself. And then people are like, so and so has that bit, and I go, well, this actually happened to me, so I don't know what we're talking about.
It was not too. I think last year I put a bit out about going to the salon versus going to the barbershop, and in my comments everyone's like, Marcelo, you stole this bit from Marcelo. I'm like, watch them. Tell me one word that I said besides salon that Marcelo also said.
Yeah.
It's just 2 guys who happen to go to this place, and I actually have hair. I have long hair. I go there. I've been there. That's where I created this.
Oh my
People
God!
get me
There's so many
mad.
times I talk about like getting DUIs or getting arrested, and people are like, Dusty Slay, and I'm like, he did it much better than I did, but it's a totally different story.
It's like, I'm sorry, Dusty Slade doesn't have
Mike Rowland, and I'm like, come on, man.
He doesn't have a monopoly on being a degenerate. I've also lived a life.
Yeah.
People are fucking crazy. It's crazy.
This is when you will know. For any comics that are listening, if this is how you'll know if I watch the whole video, I repost it or I comment on it.
Yeah.
Then
Usually,
then I
if
say
I'm
it.
commenting, I'm like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
I stayed.
Because I know that
100%.
helps the engagement even more. Yeah.
And I'll make sure my comment is over 10 words because the algorithm loves
is that a thing?
Yeah.
You're in on this.
Oh, big time. I be commenting my own on my page from my podcast page, just long words. Blah, 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 blah.
Do a lot
blah,
of
blah.
reposting. Do a
gives
lot
a
of
shit?
reposting like that.
It doesn't matter, bro. It's all shit.
The
We're
Extra
trying-
Drinking Buddy page, look at the reposts. It's just all my stand-up.
Yeah, dog. You're just trying to. I'm just trying to beat the game. I'm cheating at this point. I'm
We
cheating.
have to, though.
You
Because
got to.
sometimes you see this stuff, and I've talked about this ad nauseum on this show, and you understand this just like most people I have on because this is what we do.
Mm-hmm.
You will put so much time and effort into a
yeah.
bit, working on the bit, discovering the bit, and going, fuck, that's a bit.
Yeah, that's good.
That's one of the best feelings to be like, that's a bit.
Mm-hmm,
And then working on it tirelessly, show after show, to where I'm doing it at open mics and comics are like, come on.
Yeah,
dude.
we know this one. It's good. We
yeah,
get it.
We get it. You're
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
Ha ha ha. You're better than all of us.
Yes, 100%.
But then you do it at a show, it hits, and
Yeah.
you're like, that's it,
Yeah.
got it. And then you put it up and it gets like 1,200 views. And you're like, I think I'm going to jump out of a fucking window.
100%. And I think what I've been like, to bring it back to what I've learned since the last time I saw you is like, I'm really trying to practice full detachment.
Yeah.
Like if I have a bit that works, great, I'll do it. If I post it, I'll continue to do it or I'll just keep working on it. But what it does it's beyond me.
Which is smart because
It's
then you'll be
beyond me.
scrolling and see somebody like farting at the gym.
Yeah. And
100 million views.
And what are you gonna do? You
you're
can't
like-
do anything. You can't do anything about it.
You can
have to
find them. You can
post-
find them. And be like,
You can
cut
find
this
them.
shit out.
You could fart. You could do it. You could, but it's all you have to. Posting is for us. What happens of it is
That's
beyond
a
us.
very
You
good
know what
way
I
to
mean?
look at it.
And I don't always have a good time. Like I posted a clip today from a set that I was like, I crushed this set. It's bombing. It's the first video that I posted that's done bad all week. It doesn't matter. I got to post another one tomorrow because who cares?
That's another
cares?
thing too is I try to get all my clip cutting done, especially for the podcast. Sunday night, I sit down, go through all the clips that AI spits out, edit all those clips, but I have to do all 5.
Yeah.
Because if I do 2, I'm not going back to it later in the week. It takes so much effort to like sit down and do it. But to your point, it's like I just put them out.
Put them out.
Which is interesting because I don't know if you have found this too doing the show. There is such a significant difference. When I post something for the podcast and it doesn't do well, I'm like, who fucking cares?
Yeah, whatever. We were just talking.
When I post something that's mine and it doesn't do well, I'm like,
It's personal.
yeah.
It's personal.
You guys don't like me.
Y'all saw it and you chose to pass over it.
You don't like me.
Yeah,
And
100%.
YouTube does this really fun thing where it tells you the percentage of people who swiped away.
Funny. That's very. I mean, you know what? It's a filthy game we play. We're microdosing rejection
Every
single
day.
day. And unfortunately, it's making us better people. I feel like I saw a quote from 50 Cent. All the time between you feeling like you're ready for something, there's that point, and then there's a point in which you get everything you feel like you're ready for. That time is getting you ready for actually the things that you
100%.
want.
Well, because we've seen it. We've seen it firsthand. We've seen people get something really, really fast, and we're like,
Down, quick.
yeah, you're
as
not.
fast.
I don't think you're ready for this. No, I'm good. I'm going to run an hour. You don't have 7 minutes.
I know, man. It happens quick. It happens quick.
I'm
but,
just going to talk to him.
Yeah.
Because we've seen it, especially in New York. You'll see some of the most famous celebrities in the world think that they're going to do stand-up. You get 60 seconds of crowd like, we'll see what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's crickets.
Then they don't care.
Yeah.
It's
Did
New
you
York.
see the T.I.?
I didn't see the special, but I saw that he put it out, and I mean, you know, good for him.
The only reason I ask is because I saw a clip from it and someone was hating on it,
Yeah.
but I was ignoring the reaction. I was just watching the clip. But to my point, it's just one of those things where it's like people are very excited. I love T.I.
Yeah.
T.I. Come on, man. That's
Great
on my
rapper.
playlist.
Great actor. ATL, one of my favorite
Dude,
movies.
come
Great,
on.
great. I watched it the other day. It is terrible, but it is so fun to watch.
It's good.
Great movie. Great movie.
But you can see the crowd be like, and you're like, oh my God.
thank God.
I know that feeling and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
nobody.
Thank God that it.
He hasn't felt that feeling in 20 years.
I mean, that's why he's doing comedy, because he's not doing comedy because he loves comedy. He wants to feel normal.
Yeah.
He's too rich and too famous now.
Yeah, well, and there are people. I've had people on the show where we've talked about like, oh, why'd you get into stand up? And this is my favorite for the same reason you love ATL. It's terrible, but that's why it's my favorite
Yeah.
response. People go, oh, I really wanted to be famous, and doing an open mic was way easier than getting cast in something.
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
mean,
like, oh my God.
What a ass backwards to get into stand up for fame to me is insane.
It's crazy.
You are signing up to be poor for a long time, and you don't have to do that.
For people, it's one thing if you act and you act badly, because that is a skill that you can like kind of
Yeah.
establish over time, which you can with stand up. You can get better. Obviously, we've all gotten better, but the core of it is yourself.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm a bad actor or a bad singer, it's like, oh, I just don't have that.
Yeah.
But for someone to say you're not funny is that's you.
Because it's
that's
personal.
A you thing.
Everything that you do on stage comes from you.
Yeah.
And it's fully, when it doesn't work, it is your fault.
Yeah.
It is just your fault.
You're only up there by yourself.
Humble thing, but one day we're going to be famous. That could never get me through that thought. That could never get me through that thought.
People ask me, because we have the baby coming, and people all the time will be like, well, stand-up's going to have to take a back seat. And to your point that you made at the very beginning, it's like, no, that's my job.
Yeah.
Like, working at the restaurant is great,
Yeah.
and it pays a lot of the bills, but like, don't get it twisted. I didn't move across the country to wait tables.
Yeah.
Even as much as I love it and as much as I'm going to keep doing it until I can't do it anymore, I moved here for stand-up and for comedy. Like,
well, people are always going to tell you, like, people are, I find, so excited to be like, well, this is going to have to take a back seat. Like, stand-up, you're going to have to chill and stand up and, like, grow up. They're excited to do that to you because then watching you struggle reaffirms their life choices.
Yeah.
Like, them going whatever route they went, more conventional, it makes them feel good to watch it not work for somebody because they have a voice in the back of their head that's like, oh, I could have done something.
Yeah.
I could have been famous. I could have followed my passion or whatever the fuck it is. So watching somebody else not succeed is like, thank God.
You're
I wasn't
100%
bugging.
right, yeah.
But so they're always going to tell you that you can't listen.
To the comments thing we were talking about earlier, I have let it get to me, though. I have blown up on a couple people close to me being like, who the fuck do you think you're talking to?
People, I feel like it is so, I think being in stand-up and talking to comics who are like trying to make a joke 24/7, and in doing that, they're like, they're trying to beat you to a punch. They're trying to beat you. They're trying to be smarter than you. And like comics, you can't do it in a conversation. I'm too many steps ahead because I'm trying to be funny. I'm accidentally smart because I'm thinking of so many jokes. And I say this, it's so obvious what people are doing when they talk to me. They're like, oh, well, you're insecure about something. That's why you're saying it has nothing to do with me.
Yeah. Again, it was back to the point you originally made. The best part, though, and you're with a comedian, so it might be a little different, but Tracy's obviously a civilian, but we'll be hanging out with her family. And some of them are, not as excited that I do comedy, which is fine. It's totally understandable. Some people in my family aren't as excited.
I get that.
But my family knows, they can tell when I'm about to do it, but her family still doesn't realize it yet. I will set them up with a bit from 10, 15 steps ahead. And then they'll laugh. And then Tracy will be like, see, he really is funny. Yeah. And in my head, I'm like, babe, I set that up like 20 minutes ago. I took you down a path just so I could tag you at the end.
My thing is, I do that in conversation. I'm like, I think so little of you that I'm not, this is the bottom, this is the toilet of my talent. And I'm going to give it to you and you're going to love it.
Watch this.
People, man. People are crazy.
Dude, it's so much fun.
People are crazy.
Because there is a specific person I'm thinking of. And when I can get her to laugh, I just kind of, well, Tracy knows I do it now. And I'll just kind of look at Tracy and be like, and she'll be like, you meant to do that? And I'm like, of course I did.
Nothing is an accident. Everything is on purpose.
Everything is on purpose.
If you ever think that, wow, you just said a randomly funny thing, I thought of that 7 years ago. 7 years ago, I wrote it down in my notes. You can search it in my phone. It'll be there. Nothing is an accident.
Oh my God, it's my favorite thing when we're just with her friends and someone brings up a premise. They think they're just talking about something that happened to them, but I'm like, oh, I've had this loaded for a while and never tried it.
Yo, that's what crowd work is a lot of the time. You know what I mean? Like people in the room, like if you start doing crowd work, people in the room like, oh my God, he's so funny off the top of his head. I've had all these conversations before. Every conversation I'm having on stage, I've had it 10 times already.
Yeah.
So when you're like, damn, he's quick, I know what I'm saying already.
I've actually had that discussion with people who are outside of comedy. When Matt Rife was doing his tour and everything, a lot of my friends were like, but he just comes up with it so fast. And I want to be like, I know crowd work comics. Nothing against it. I don't do it. But
it is a talent. Yeah. And it's a skill that you pick up over time, but it is so the game it's a map.
Was blown when I told him it was an act.
Oh, it's nothing.
I was like, you don't think he looks for people that look like the joke? He's like, no. He just comes up with it off the top of his head. And I was like, oh, you sweet man.
He goes out there. He's got a camera. He's got the camera backstage where you can see the crowd. He's like, all right, I'll do this for this person, this for this person. And then like in that you can build space for genuine interaction. But like some of it is loaded already.
Oh yeah.
That's the point. It's the point.
I want to talk to you because we got some time. I want to talk about some stories that have happened. So last time you were on, we were talking about Freshies.
Yes,
Got to get a Freshie.
We do got to get a Freshie, but unfortunately, you also got to grow up a little bit and you got to stop doing Freshies.
Let's talk
and
about
I think that's where I'm at in my life. Honestly, my life, the big shift in my life lately has been away from drinking. I'm doing edibles now.
Okay.
I had not smoked. I had not done marijuana at all until like the last couple months, and now I do 5 milligrams of edibles every night.
Okay.
Just as a nice little, it gets me to the same place as a little glass of wine or a couple like high noons would do.
Because you had a past, and we talked about it on your first episode. You were going to frat parties even though you weren't in a frat.
Big
you
time.
were pre-gaming for that concert
Big
at like
time.
6 a.m.
100%.
That's where the term Freshies was like my favorite thing in the whole wide
It's
world.
still our favorite thing in the world. We have to let it go, frankly, but it's still. If you don't think I'm going to be doing Freshies at my wedding, you're sorely mistaken. Samantha won't be there, but I am allowed to do 2. I have been given permission. Been given permission. Me and my friends, we talk before the night begins. Because I always push back because I don't drink as much as my friends still do now. And the night begins to be
Which is hilarious, just real quick to interrupt. Hilarious.
Yeah.
You are a comedian who works at night.
Oh, yeah, I
who
drink-
is literally a public figure.
100%.
Your job is to be silly.
Yeah.
And your friends who have regular jobs are like, no.
They drink way more than me. And because I think with comedy.
Goes back to what you were saying.
No, it's crazy. People are crazy. They're like just 9 to 5, and they are alcoholics. But it's like, and I don't say that lightly. I say that with full awareness of where you're coming from. But I drink less because in comedy it's a very slippery slope.
It's so hard.
Very oftentimes you don't get paid; they just give you drinks. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't like to drink when I'm in a comedy setting because I think if you start to rely on that and then you start to experience success with the alcohol, it's very hard to separate the two, and it sets you down a very tough path. So I try not to drink as a crutch in my profession because you're allowed to, which is terrifying.
And sometimes it's encouraged.
Sometimes you do better when you are a little lit.
I've met one of the most famous comedians in the world probably 12 or 19 times. Every time, absolutely hammered. You can probably guess who this is. At the stand, smoking a cigarette.
Chappelle, bro.
Yeah, blacked out of his mind.
Bro. He's insane.
And every time I always go, oh, my mom lives in Dayton, which is right outside Yellow Springs. And every time he goes, oh, man, that's crazy. I live right there. And I'm like, Dave, we've had this conversation 19 times.
And it's like Dave Chappelle is probably one of the most successful stand-up comedians of all time. And he's numbing something. He is detaching from reality. When to be the best stand-up you can be, you have to be tapped in.
You have to.
You're speaking to so many people. So it's just, it can defeat you. Victory can defeat you.
Dude, I posted a clip because of the movie lines thing where I say it all the time. When a comic becomes too big, they
the worst
become
thing for their comedy,
unrelatable.
100%.
And it's the Bane line from Dark Knight Rises.
Victory has defeated you.
Peace has cost you your strength. Victory has defeated you.
100%. And at that point, like somebody like Kevin Hart, who's probably the most successful stand-up of all time, you have to not stop doing stand-up, but you have to understand that it's just not the same for you.
Yeah, he has to pivot.
You're a rich man. It's different now.
I love Kevin Hart. That first special was monumental.
Yeah,
to say
for
the
me,
very
he's got
least.
3. He's got 3 classics for me.
But I'm saying that first one, I was the say it with your chest.
Yeah.
Dude, we still quote that to this day.
Iconic, bro.
I remember his 4 special that came out on Netflix. The first bit was he was talking about walking down his really long driveway in the dark and how he's scared of the dark. Scared of the dark, relatable, totally get it. But the more he was doing the imagery about this super long driveway and stuff, I kind of was like, I think I'm out on this special.
I don't care, man. Things are too good for you. I don't give a fuck what your problems are.
If you want to do that, that's fine. You just got to pivot the comedy to that. Just embrace it.
Yeah. But,
like Louis C.K.'s done a great job of embracing it, being like, yeah, I know who I am. I know I'm very famous. I know I got into a lot of trouble, and now I'm going to talk about it. But to try to play the, like, I'm just like you card, it's like, no, you're not.
Dog, I seen Seinfeld at Gotham the other day. That motherfucker's good, man. He's so good. That's the first time I saw him live.
Really?
So good. Still, after all this time, money, success, notoriety, still one of the best at the thing.
I think it's because one of the things that he does the best, for me, watching him, because when I first moved here, I was going to Gotham a lot, thinking I was going to get in, because I had a friend who knew the booker, and I was like, oh, I'll just show up. So I got to see it, because that's where he works out, is Gotham. Yeah. So I got to see him like 3 or 4 times. And even with everything that he's accomplished and stuff, he still like finds the smallest nuance in things. And you're like,
he's thinking on a different plane of reality. And it's because he's probably a little autistic, and that's why he's the greatest. You can't be normal. You can't be normal.
Mark Norman, another great comedy writer.
You can't be good and successful and not be a little bit fucking retarded. You know what I mean? Because it's if you're a normal person, you become better. Yeah. And he just stays bad.
And that's one of those things too. That's the reason I love Bill Burr, is because even with all his success, the littlest things still set him off. And it's like, oh, you have a rage problem.
Yeah, he has an issue, and that's why he's still good at this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, because if he fully healed, he wouldn't be good anymore.
Yeah, it would just be he'd just be a guy talking.
Yeah, you just have to be an actor at that point.
But when he freaks out and he's like, when they're like, oh, you fill up your drink over there, and he's like, you recognize me? No, because I don't fucking work here.
Yeah.
Dude, that's one of my favorite bits of all time.
It takes something has to be a little bit wrong with you or your life to really be good at stand-up.
Well, and also, you said something very good quote. We'll probably clip it. it's microdosing rejection on a daily basis.
Big time, bro.
There has to be something wrong with you to do that. How many people do we know? And I've talked about this on the last few episodes, but it's something that's very pertinent to me right now with the baby on the way, with getting married, is like this idea of like, how many people do we know where they got stuff? They were past at clubs. We were like, they're doing it. And then you don't see them for a couple months and you're like, hey, what happened to so-and-so? And they're like, oh, they quit.
Yeah.
They fell in love, decided they didn't want anymore, and they quit. In my brain, and I'm sure you're the same way, in my brain, that's never even been on the table.
No.
Was like, I would never.
Yeah, for me, this is as much of a decision to do stand up and pursue an entertainment career. As much of that is a decision, it's also like I feel a calling.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to do anything but this. So like I can't. The time in my life where I can picture what it could look like outside of this has long passed.
Yeah, exactly.
So every version
100%.
of my future has this, like it's built around this. That's why, you know, my wife is also doing the same thing because that's how important it is to us.
Very funny.
Oh,
she's been on the show. We got to get her back on, but
she's so good.
She's so funny.
She's so
especially because she has such a likability. So do you. But when we talked about this the last time you were on, you guys are just both so likable.
Bro, my shit with Samantha is motherfuckers don't get it. Like, she is so fucking cool. Like, people think, like, my dude, like, a lot of my homies, they see me in a relationship. I spend all my time with Samantha. We work together. We unwind together. Everything we do is together. And they're like, yo, you always with your girl, man. You soft. I'm like, she's hilarious and we fuck. There's no, this is, I don't know, like, people will see my life and be like, yo, he's gay. Like, he all he does is, we fuck and we laugh. All day.
What else can you ask
There's
for?
nothing else that needs to be checked off the box. Maybe the Knicks winning a championship.
Maybe.
And that's third.
Hey.
I have to, if I'm not getting fucked and being made laugh, I can't even enjoy that championship.
Yeah, why would you?
It's not fun. My balls are full. It's it's so lit. It's so lit. She's so awesome.
It seemed like it was destined because when I first met both of you were both incredibly kind to me and very sweet. And I had just gotten to New York. Obviously, you're both from here. And you guys were, because I mean, it was, again, 5-6 years ago now, but you guys were like showing me, like, oh, this is my friend Brennan, like, by introducing me to people and stuff. And I remember you were one of the first people that came on after the Hannah Burner stuff happened and you started to gain some success from that. You were still one of the first people who were like, no, I'm down. Even now, like, you've become even more successful. And I DM'd you and I was like, hey, can you do the show? I know you're busy. I know. And you're like, yeah. We're fucking neighbors. I'll be there,
man.
But the fact that you two found each other, I remember before you guys even announced it, I was in my head, and I think we talked about it, but I was in my head like, they have to be. Yeah. They have to get together.
Yeah, we did that for
They're
like a
perfect.
year. Yeah, we did that for like a year, and honestly, it was you know, you grow up a dude and you get taught,
especially up here.
I feel like you get taught that women distract. Like it's a bad thing to be in a relationship. They'll distract you from your goal.
I've heard that a lot.
Oh my God, it's what I was raised on, and you know, I get that same back from my friends. We're all raised the same way, so like I had to give myself permission to be happy and realize that like this is not going to take away from my drive to achieve.
Well, it's actually the opposite.
Feed it. Yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
But a lot of dudes they don't see women as stars, and they don't see it as possible. Like, you have to be miserable to be happy, or be miserable to be successful.
Yeah.
I think it's a new thing where people are trying to be happy and successful.
Well, especially in our line of work, being happy produces better. Like, being happy. Let me rephrase that, because being happy doesn't necessarily produce better comedy, but being happy gives us more longevity in comedy, I should say.
I will say, for me, the way my mind works, the way that I feel, when I'm happy, I feel in a better place to create.
That's
right?
what I mean, yeah.
I don't do well with adversity, period. Like, if I'm not a happy person, or if I'm not like, it piles up and it piles fast, and art doesn't come from that place for me.
Yeah.
For me, art comes when I feel fulfilled at home. I have this thing that I don't have to worry about. Like, not that I don't have to worry or like I have a partner who I love that I know I want to work it out with. So whatever comes of that, I'm very willing to do that work. And from that place, having that like peace of mind, like this
the stability,
is good.
Yeah.
Now I can focus on all of this.
Yeah.
Now I can look everywhere.
Well, and that's the thing is, like,
people don't always feel that way though.
That's true, because I have written stuff about really shitty things that have happened to me, and the shame notes I always get from people is, it's too mean, it's too aggressive, it's too raw. But when I'm in a better place, removed from that, in a good situation, then I'll write about it, and people are like, that's fucking hilarious.
Because you can be lighthearted, because there's no actual animosity in your spirit.
And it doesn't matter. Like, I'm good.
Yeah, for me, I feel better when I'm lighthearted.
Yeah.
And she makes me feel lighthearted. I was single. I was in another relationship. I was single, and I had Samantha. All three of those phases I did comedy. I'm the best version of myself now.
Yeah.
I think I get better at comedy if I'm better as a person, and I get better as a person with somebody holding me accountable. So I fucking love it. It's awesome, bro.
I want to, because we were talking about the wedding, only 2 Freshies allowed. What was the thing Because we kind of went away from.
Freshie. So wedding. So I go out with my homies to this day, and like they drink a lot. And once, like before the party starts, before we start doing anything, I have a friend. His name is Chike. Shout out to Chike.
Shout out.
Chike will come up to me. He'll be like, "Brother, I have 5 Freshies for you." And then now negotiations have begun. So he'll be like, "I have 5." I'm like, "Brother, I can give you 1." He's like, "1 is preposterous. I'll give you 3 and a team option for a 4th." And we have to come to a number before we even start drinking. Because if we don't, I won't binge.
You can't because you can't. Yeah.
But if he locks me into a commitment up top, then I'm like, all right, I'll do 3.
Yeah.
And that always turns into 5. You know what I mean? It's a give and take.
That's why the negotiation is
But
there.
I say that
because 5 turns into 7. Now that's
and
too
you
many.
can't shake hands at 5. You're asking for a bad night. You got to shake hands at 2 and see where the night takes you.
What was the pivot to get into the edibles? Because you were never a weed guy. So what happened?
I don't like smoking. I think smoking is just like I think say no to drugs like did its work in my body.
Yeah.
Like I saw people smoking like these are bad people. These people are not good people. They're pieces of shit people. Like no, but I hear my mom every time I see somebody smoking like garbage person. But Samantha, I think
when I first saw cocaine, I was like, oh, you guys are all terrible people.
Too much cocaine. I love to watch. I will never do it because it's like I'm not gonna smoke weed. I'm definitely not doing cocaine. But so with what was I gonna say? With weed, right?
Pivot,
Samantha's more of a weed person. She hates to drink, right? So I'd have like a couple of high noons and she'd smoke, but she developed asthma. So she completely moved away from smoking and now she just did edibles. And edibles in my brain is much more palatable. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I'm not smoking. It's not bad on my lungs. You know what I mean? And then she gave me like a 4th once. And I was like, this is cool. Then I started moving up to halves. And then when we went to Puerto Rico to see Bad Bunny.
Shout out.
I tried mushrooms. And I had a great time. Yeah. I had a great time on mushrooms. Very nice. And through that, I was like, oh, if I eating it doesn't make me feel like I'm doing a drug.
Yeah.
Because I don't
feel a great point.
I don't feel an effect anywhere in my body.
Injecting, smoking, snorting.
It's harsh on your like brain chemistry, but like an edible, I eat it, I feel silly, and then I wake up, no hangover. And if there's a long-term implication on my health, I just don't know what it is yet.
And that's fine.
And that's not my problem at this point. I am safe.
That's future JC's problem.
That's future medicine's problem. I am at the point of like, this is like when cigarettes first came out. And people are like, oh, we're just going to smoke these and we're cool. We're not worried about what happens. If there's something on the negative side of edibles, I don't know what it is. And medicine doesn't know what it is.
Exactly.
So I feel like I'm in the clear.
Well, and smoking is still incredibly cool. It's just so bad
so
for you.
Cool.
I can't.
It's almost cooler now because it's bad.
I quit and still there are times where I'll be watching, like I got back into Sons of Anarchy, the TV show, and they smoke like chimneys, and I'm like, damn, I'm putting it in like a zen, like you fucking bitch.
No bullshit, man. And it's gonna sound like a bit, but it's really not. I'm watching Sex in the City right now, and Carrie smokes like a chimney, and I'm like, is this bitch the coolest bitch on the planet? She's smoking cigarettes, talking about dude she's fucking. Is this the coolest person ever? Dude, I've never wanted to smoke a cig more than watching Sex in the City. Dude,
and that's like it's a Pavlovian thing. Like when I see other people smoking, I'm like, and it is a cool. Like I got to hang out with David Tell, Chappelle. One of the times we hung out with smoke, it is a very social thing. Emma Woman has the great bit about it. I won't do it because I'll butcher it, but she has a hilarious bit about it where she talks about the worse the habit, the closer you immediately become, which is so true.
Oh, that's a great point.
Because like if you're outside smoking a cigarette, you're immediately talking to people smoking. Yeah. If you're in a bathroom doing coke, you're starting a business with somebody. You know what I mean? Like,
is that her bit?
Yeah.
Fuck, that's good.
It's such a good.
You know what, man? I'm at,
and then I don't want to ruin it, but the best part is the misdirect at the end where she goes, "I've been going to a workout class for 5 years, haven't talked to a single person." And you're like, absolutely.
The thing about bits that are that good and that true is I'm at the point in my career where I don't, that doesn't bring me joy. I get upset. I'm like, how did I not think of that? Dude, not because it's like I'm so good, but I'm like, it's perfect. It's a perfect little like observation.
Oh
perfect.
God, it's great. Dude, so mushrooms and edibles now.
But I did mushrooms once.
Freshies are on the back burner.
Freshies for me way on the back burner. I don't like to drink, really. It doesn't feel good on my body. I like the sipping of it.
Yeah.
Like sometimes when I'm on an edible.
It's like the cigarette. It's cool.
Yeah. Sometimes when I'm on, like the other night, I was on an edible and I poured myself a glass of wine, but I don't need it to feel anything at this point because I'm already feeling nice. But it's just like the action of constantly doing something that makes me feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But I think the edibles are just a little bit easier on my body. I wake up a little bit more refreshed.
Well, we're getting older.
And we got to embrace it. Motherfuckers want to stay young forever. Why?
That's what I don't understand.
I don't get it.
Like now I go to the gym and I have old man strength and I'll see like these 22-year-olds in there and they're like killing themselves trying to, and I'm like, oh.
For what, dude? Who are you trying to impress at this point?
They think the Knicks are going to call and be like, hey, we need a power forward.
And we will call because we do need a power forward because Cat can't do the job. and I like the guy. I like it. It's not even it's the way he. If he was
fancy, what do they call him?
He's just cat. Cat. I don't know if
it's not fancy. What is this?
Zesty. Yeah, and it's not even the zest. It's just he's so from Jersey that it's like. He's such a dweeb, and as long as he's a Nick, I'm a root for him. But he's such a dweeb. Nothing he ever does is cool. When he celebrates, it pisses. He gives me the ick. I've never felt the ick in this way. He's a good player. He puts the ick in Nick for me. But if we win, I'll pay my nails. I don't care, bro. I'll do whatever you want. But just
what did you think about the Tibbs thing?
I wanted him gone.
You did?
I like Tibbs. I think he did the best with what he could have done, but I think we needed another coach to take us over
the
there.
minutes were too far?
I think the minutes were too, we just got to the point where if we didn't, we only had one plan. And if
everybody 44 minutes.
And it's a good plan because the more time your players play, the better they're probably going to do. But if one person takes one person to get hurt, everything's out of whack. Yeah. And that's what keeps happening.
That's what happened, yeah.
And I think he got them as close as he possibly could. I don't think we'd be better.
You got Mike Brown now?
Mike Brown, I don't know if he's the answer, but we definitely needed to change it, in my opinion.
I like Mike Brown. And he comes from that same school of thought, defense first.
Defense first. He's a fun guy. He's a coach. He's a player's coach. I mean, he's a coach's. He's a player's coach.
You had it, yeah.
You know, he's a nice guy. You know, if we win, I'll be happy. If we lose, I'll fucking kill myself. This is just the games we play. It's just what it is.
Hey, you got to play the games. Dude, this was awesome.
Oh, thank you, man.
Plug everything one more time.
Bro, one more time. Soft Launch Podcast every single Wednesday, everywhere podcasts are streamed. You can follow me on Instagram at Peach Fuzz Poppy. And that's pretty much it, man. I do a show at New York Comedy Club every last Sunday of the month called In Rhythm. And I don't know when this episode's gonna come out, but Samantha and I have a show on Valentine's Day at New York Comedy Club. That. So if you're in New York City and you're looking for a nice date night, it's a 5:30 show. It's a perfect way to start your evening. Samantha and I, we are both stand-ups. We'll co-host together, and it'll be a very fun date night-centered show.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. At Brennan T. Comedy on all social media, BrennanTComedy.com. I'll be in Connecticut this weekend. Come check me out there, and we'll talk to y'all next week.
Peace.
Boom. Dude, that was great.